One, and I say that respectfully. Today is currently February 1st. Here's the change of me, 2026. These goddamn days, let alone months. Oh, Lord. My content is not for everyone, and I say that respectfully. To the genuine ones with no misintentions, I truly hope all is well in your end, and I say that respectfully. Never give up on yourself because someone didn't see your potential, someone did not love you, respect you, or protect you, or you poured into the wrong cup. And especially when you don't run from your past, at the end of the day, taking account for your actions, the energy is different. You're mad and you're worthy. Never give up on yourself, and I say that respectfully. Healing childhood trauma going into your adulthood will never be an overnight process, and I say that respectfully. No, it's a trait, though. My concept advice. Oh, okay. I go live every night on YouTube at 10:15 p.m. My content is not for everyone. No, it's a trait, though. Goddamn it, be yourself, be yourself. No, for real, for real. You know, a blessing, a reflection, self understanding. What bothers someone's mental because you understood strategizing how to become your best self vision of yourself to be woke. They would never understand that you was comfortable in your own skin. You got chicks and dudes praying to your downfall, all because you found balance that understands your worth more. No, it's a trait though for me. You know, you balance out certain chapters that you almost lost yourself, finding peace within, far from pretending being authentic, started within. You have chicks and dudes praying on your downfall, right from left at the end of the day. You've been dealing with spiritual warfare since a child point of view going to your adulthood. They would never understand that you continue to call your energy back regardless of your environment. You know your tax bracket. They would never understand getting discovered wasn't part of your mindset because God was showing your faith that being comfortable in your own skin, understand the hope within. But you didn't have to pray the same as the enemy, let on the devil. You know, if folks didn't understand that, hold on one second, you were just on God's level. You know, my content is not for everyone. And I say that respectfully. I would never hurt myself regardless of praying on my downfall. It's not a crime to be authentic. Now, it's a trait of me, God darn it. Be yourself, be yourself. That special calling when it came your blessing. Didn't have to worship the devil even when you didn't have to pretend at the end of the day to understand your self-reflection. You ain't have to sell your soul when it came to hold on one second God's word. Because God was never for likes. If you's a cloud chasing no fame, they would never understand that hold on one second. It was never no in-betweens when it came to your prayer. Because it was truly authentic regards to hold on one second. The storm that you was going through, hold on one second. You know when the devil tried to plot on you, the enemy tried to discourage you, but God was showing your favor at the end of the day, how you acknowledge your worth, that you are worthy. Overcoming the storm they come relate to. That was confidence. Because God said, don't give up on yourself because I got your back. Regardless who's trying to bring you down for, they would never understand how God's allowing you to relax in your own skin at the end of the day. Fall from a hater than had to pretend. Even when chicks and dudes will send you the evil lies so you won't multiply when it comes to your blessings. Understanding that, hold on one second, that receiver actually is different. You almost gave up on yourself, but God allowed you to see. Never get discovered because someone doesn't want you to see elevation. Not ever trade a thought for me. Always be yourself. You know, my content is not for everybody. And that's okay. No other trade though for me. You know, loving yourself is not a crime. No, for real, for real. And I say that respectfully. Here was my soul, devil, devil. Return back to sender, devil, devil, with your malicious intentions. No ever trade though for me. You know, my content not for everybody. And I've been saying this all the time. Devil, devil, return back to sender. Devil, devil, not today. Hey, devil, devil, not today. What the trade though for me? You know how when the enemy is watching you, the devil's trying to make sure you don't understand God's recipe when it comes to choosing you. They want to label you dysfunctional, slow, stupid, and retarded. Hold on one second. They want you to have the mindset of losing yourself when it comes to your faith at the end of the day, but God didn't project fear in you. They would never understand that your energy is different when it comes to being real. Hold on one second. What's running from your past when it comes to your intuition, taking accountability for your actions, while God's stepping for you. Never give up on yourself, and I say that respectfully, regardless who's planning on your downfall. My content is not for everyone, and that's okay. Loving yourself is not a crime. I'm Nadia Junior Love Respect, and this is peace. Peace and respect your neighbor. Stop the violence. I said what I said. Stop the violence. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Still under the weather, but I got this. Monday, self-love every day. Tuesday, self-control every day. Wednesday, motivation every day. Hold on for a second, never overlook you. Thursday, choose yourself when they overlook you. Friday, you mad and you're worthy. The enemy gonna try to test you. The devil gonna try to discourage you. But hold on one second. G-O-D allows you to believe in your faith. Never give up on yourself even on your rainy day. Saturday, when you fall from a hater, love yourself, don't dim your light. Sunday, never give up on yourself. You know, they're going to try to project you to be a curse, but you actually are a blessing. You know, the trials and tribulations, they will never understand your reflection. The light within you, love yourself, don't dim your light. Yeah, you're mad and you're worthy. Stop the violence. I'm peace. I bring peace. It's currently 10:21 p.m. and it's currently February 1st, 2026. Never get discouraged because someone wants to dim your light over jealousy, envy, or insecurity. You know, individuals that see that when you try, you know, regardless to the trials and tribulations, even when you had skeletons in your closet, you still kept showing up for yourself to better yourself when it comes to your life. Regardless if you're an elderly man or woman, or woman, or a woman or a man, or a child, or a teenager, or a man or a couple, or whatever you are at the end of the day. You know, it doesn't matter about your sexual orientation, your disability, your age. When you're trying to change your life at the end of the day, never allow someone to dim your light when it comes to having, you know, faith and maturing. And you don't run from your past. You know, you don't have to dim your light because someone's insecurity or someone is sending you the evil lie, or they have to gang up in groups or make you feel like you're not worthy of understanding your self-reflection because you're mad and you're worthy. You know, individuals will gang up in groups or not at the end of the day, you know, just to try to paint a narrative, you know, so certain folks could look at you in a different type of light. And at the end of the day, you know, you ain't got no hate or jealousy and envy within you. You know, you keep it pushing. I look the devil in the eyes. I ain't trying to dim my light. God is my protector. God loves me and I love G-O-D. My heavenly mother, Father God, got my back. Always be yourself. You know, domestic violence, hate crime, discrimination, you know, gang stalking. You put a name in your book when it comes to violence at the end of the day. Everybody's walk of life ain't the same. But when it comes to gang stalking, individuals will try to antagonize you, rob you mentally, spiritually, financially, even send you the evil lie or try to send you spell work. They will reroute your mail, your packages. They will even act like you received it when you never did. You know, this type of stuff actually happens and it's not the norm. The same people that call you slow, stupid, and retarded, you know, it will be the same people that then try to point the finger at you because you're trying to prosper. But who's really the slow, stupid, and retarded one? It's the truth though for me. How these fools will try to get you locked up, put you in a sideboard, you know, paint people to look at you in a different type of light because, hold on one second, they lack boundaries, they lack self-control, they have insecurity problems, they don't have self-growth. You know, they see you at the end of the day regardless of trials and tribulations that you've been through or even obstacles they try to put you through at the end of the day, and you continue to keep getting up and prospering. Never live in fear or make someone make you feel like you're not worthy. Regardless if you have a speech problem or a disability problem, or you know, sometimes people have their days, you know, man, woman, and child. You know, sometimes you stutter over your own words. Sometimes, you know, you get so lost in space when you're going through trials and tribulations like trauma, you know, depression, anxiety, PTSD. But you know that's what the devil wants you to do. The devil doesn't want you to understand your own self-reflection. No, for real, how this type of stuff actually happens. You know, hold on one second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Call your energy back. You don't need no negative energy when you're trying to prosper. They're going to try to down talk you at the end of the day. But love yourself. Don't dim your light. They're going to try to make you feel like you're not worthy. Loving yourself, the shine is going to shine in your world. Regardless, when you choose yourself, you know, because everybody's world is not the same. But when the right people walk into your life, they see you, they hate you, they respect you. They don't got time sending you the evil lie or sending you spell work or sending you illusions or whatever the case may be with malicious intentions. You know, individuals will send you spell work, but it wouldn't be spell work anymore at the end of the day once you're aware. You know, when God reveals the devil and the enemy, when they trying to plot against you, it wasn't for you to live in fear because God gave you strength to understand your elevation, understand that you're worthy, regardless of who do not love you, respect you, or see your potential. You're mad and you're worthy. Stop the violence. You know, individuals that gang stalk you, they hack your IP address, they clone your devices, and they try to blackmail you against you. They would even act like they know you, they had a whole conversation with you, all because they trying to ruin your reputation because they don't want you to prosper. But when you don't live in fear, call your energy back. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and energy over here. Devil, devil, not today. Say, devil, devil, not today. Or tomorrow. Thank you, God, for being patient with me. Thank you, LOVE, allow me to choose me. Gotta stop the violence. Today's currently February 1st, 2026, and it's currently 10:25 p.m. Our content is not for everybody. They said the grass ain't green on the other side, but when the right people walk into your life, they see you, they hear you, they respect you with no malicious intentions. Stop the violence. Gotta go. I'm peace. Peace and respect your neighbor. Stop the violence. I said what I said. Stop the violence. Gotta go. I'm Naya, Junior Levis Spike, and it's currently 10:26 p.m. and we're 10 minutes into this video. I would never hurt myself regardless who's praying to my downfall, and I say that respectfully. It was far from being special. You was just wanted by God. They would never understand your reflection. How God allows you to see that it's okay to be loved. In the right hands, they would never understand your palms hits different. How you actually pray to really to go within. They would never understand the hands of time when to understand the hold on 1 second, your testimony. You almost lost yourself, but God gave you balance to acknowledge your worth. Dealing with spiritual warfare since a child point of view, going into your adulthood, they would never understand how you truly step in. You understood that you are worthy, even when folks try to paint you to be the villain in their story. You wasn't trying to shortchange yourself when it come to your mental health, because LOV lied within you. They would never understand the hands of time, how your heavenly mother, father, God, removed their hands off the well, how God allowed you to see time. You know, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and just because moments, continue to call your energy back, and I say that respectfully, with no negative energy, and I mean that accordingly. Because at the end of the day, it's going to be chicks and dudes, regardless of your tags, bracket, trying to prosper. At the end of the day, they don't want you to become your best self vision of your reflection. They want you to be stagnant when it comes to your mental health. But hold on 1 second, God's showing you better to understand your worth. You know, my content is not for everyone, and that's okay. Entertainment purposes only. No ever tricked off me, goddammit. You ever been minding your business within mind your business or whatever the case may be? You ever had that one family member or whatever the case may be that you love so deeply, but you realize at the end of the day you never going back over to their house? No ever tricked off me. I just started for y'all one that ass conversation, depression. What the fuck y'all got going on? Only to find out these two dumbasses are between a divorce. First of all, what happened? Ever tricked over me? When you realize you put in the middle of some bullshit you didn't have no business at the end of the day, because first of all, you didn't cheat on nobody, and you didn't tell someone to go cheat. It's the tricked over me. How you got that one family trying to tell you a narrative to repeat it to the next family member and shit like, all right, you mean to tell me that y'all can't cope with talking before I came here? What y'all was doing? It's the tricked over. Y'all better get it together. No, the train off of me. Only to realize this idiot got a smirk on their face. I just can't wait till I get the fuck up out of here. And the train off me. You take a little bit too fucking long because you depressing my people at the end of the day, your stupid ass. Only to find out dumb and dumb have been cheating on each other and only rest to hold on 1 second. It wasn't part of the game. And the train off me. So y'all projecting your own goddamn pain. When you realize you didn't sign up for someone's conversation at the end of the day, like a therapy session. So you mean to tell me for all these years y'all been swingers, and because it was someone that was more beautiful than her or him or whatever the case may be, now y'all got a problem because someone got more? Whatever checked on me, y'all both going to hell. If it traded over me, I do know. If it traded over me, you know my content is not for everyone, and I say that respectfully. Today's currently February 1st, 2026, and it's 10:29 p.m. And I would never hurt myself. It is not a crime to be authentic. You know, no mother or father or guardian should lose a child due to someone's jealousy, envy, or insecurity. Good day, bad day, or misunderstanding day. Or someone's plotting a hate crime, or someone's trying to plot a domestic violence case on someone, or someone's trying to rob somebody mentally, spiritually, or financially, or someone's trying to hex someone's life because they don't want to see someone prosper or happy with someone else, or they don't want someone to become their best self vision of themselves, of a dream at the end of the day that someone was not part of. How this type of stuff actually happens. No mother or father is deserving of that phone call to find out their child is no longer here. Good day, bad day, or misunderstanding because someone lacks self-control. You know, no mother or father should have their child stripped away from them due to someone's lack of self-control. due to they wanted to control the narrative of a mother's father happiness and try to paint them out to be mentally unstable when a mother and father is a provider, a protector, a prayer warrior. They show up good day, bad day, and misunderstanding day, even sick days. It's just train of thought for me. My content is not for everyone. You know, individuals will come into someone's household and strip a child at the household because they want an energy harvest off their child's energy. Destiny swipe at that child, project spoke towards that child, make that child feel like at the end of the day they're abandoned, they're not loved or respected at the end of the day from their mother or father. When a mother and father, regardless they came from poverty or pain or not, they knew how to show up good day, bad day, or misunderstanding day, regardless to who didn't know how to show them the proper love at the end of the day, but they knew how to meet their child halfway. You know, my content is not for everyone, and I say that respectfully. You know, no mother or father should have their child stripped away from them because someone from their past is trying to keep tabs on them about their from point A to Z, or because someone doesn't want someone to prosper in life, so they have monitoring spirits and they pay people, or they have people watching someone's every move that someone doesn't even have to know to rob somebody mentally, spiritually, or financially, or even try to hex someone or send someone spoke at the end of the day. How this type of stuff actually happens. How someone be plotting on someone's baby, or because someone doesn't want to see someone prosper in life, but that door was already closed. How this type of stuff happens when it comes to jealousy, envy, and insecurity. My content is not for everyone, and I say that respectfully. Always be yourself, but nobody's attentions. It's currently 10:31 p.m., and it's currently February 1st, 2026. My content is not for everyone. I'm far from a hater, and I say that respectfully. I go live every night on YouTube at 10:15. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. I go live every night at 10:15 p.m. I post throughout the day on multiple sites. Have a trait of me. That's Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. I always go live at 10:15 p.m. on YouTube. When it comes to my creativity, I am not AI and I work alone. I always have since day one. Always be yourself, and I say that respectfully. I'm Naya, and respect, and I'm far from a hater. You know, different. They would never understand your remedy, being authentic. It was within you. They would never understand that you wasn't trying to get discouraged because someone was plotting on your downfall. Because God allowed you to understand your testimony was truly strong at the end of the day. How certain folks would try to kick you down because they wanted to see you frown, but God was allowing you to smile more. That's what makes the enemy or the devil so uncomfortable at the end of their own reflection. All because you believe in your faith when it came to testimony they can relate to. That was confidence. How you had to deal with childhood trauma going to your adulthood. They would never understand how God was stepping for you. It was days that you were so uncomfortable behind a bill or two, no food in the fridge, but they would never understand how God was holding you. How your heavenly mother, Father God gave you proper nourishments, restored your pockets, and they would never understand what you've been through. How chicks and dudes would try to be you, but hold on one second, they couldn't walk a day in your shoes. How you've been dealing with spiritual warfare since a child point of view, going into your adulthood, far from your enemy at the end of the day, because God will allow you to see you. You know, because you're beautiful, you're handsome. All these obstacles that you've been through when it come to trial and tribulation, you never switched up when it come to having a heart. Thank you, no thank you when it came to your neighbor, regardless of their tax bracket, when it comes to whether it can relate to your confidence, when it comes to your boundaries, didn't think you was better than nobody. You understood I'm worthy. I'm worthy, regardless of the amount of love and respect. At the end of the day, they said I got mommy and daddy issues, but that was never the case because you allowed yourself to see your reflection when you realized, hold on one second, you was your biggest cheerleader when folks were trying to do you wrong. You didn't have to pretend when it came to hold on one second, taking accountability for your actions when you wasn't running from your past. At the end of the day, they would never understand how God was holding the wheel. You know, that motivation is different. You know, the LOV allows you to see. It was never no in-betweens when it came to praying, going within, even when the devil had so much malicious intentions. Even on your worst day when you felt like, hold on one second, nobody hears you, but God saw you. Not only did God see you, God heard you. Your prayer was actually a calling when you least expected because God heard the calling. God never overlooked you. They would never understand you was far from a fool when they said that God not real, but God was truly loving you. You know, my content is not for everybody, and I say that respectfully. You know, the fact that you chose you, that confidence is different when it comes to hold on a second, your motivation, even when folks try to down talk you. They plotting on your downfall, saying that you will crash out, picking and choosing who they want to bully, because hold on one second, you understood your reflection, understood that you didn't have to worship the devil, let alone hold on one second, understand God's reflection. They didn't understand that though. You didn't have to worship the devil. because you understood God's reflection. They would never understand that you was truly the blessing, even when they tried to distract you. Hold on 1 second, you actually count on you. Being misled by the blind at the end of the day for so many chapters, they would never understand that God allowed you to see it's okay to be woke. It's going to be chicks and dudes that's going to have these minds at the end of the day, not to see you grow. They said take the pen and the paper, get rid of it at the end of the day. But what's always within you when it comes to being authentic, that's coming to being real at the end of the day. I may say at the end of the day all day long, but I'm just being my authentic self. I wouldn't want to be nobody else but me. It'd be the train of thought for me. I could never sit here and be a copycat, let alone a follower. It'd be the train of thought for me. How chicks and dudes try to control your narrative, all because you understood that, hold on 1 second, I was truly irrelevant. I wasn't trying to lose myself when it came to someone's one-sided competition. All that hate and animosity was truly, hold on 1 second, you lashing out. Only because the hold on 1 second, you forgot to believe in your own reflection. You try to control the narrative of someone's life at the end of the day because they wasn't trying to be stagnant. Hold on 1 second, because you don't understand your reflection. How this type of stuff actually happens. Someone wants you to be stagnant because they don't understand their next step. So they got to make sure that you fumble yourself so you won't better yourself when it comes to your worth. But hold on 1 second, that was God's rejection, God's protection. When God revealed the devil on the enemy, that hold on 1 second, we was never in competition. Always be yourself, and I say that respectfully. I love to talk about love. Love is real, love is one of a kind, with the right one truly for you. Not ever trade on me, always be yourself, It was more so, it was less of the pen when it came to the paper, when it came to the ink. A word that, hold on 1 second, two people can actually relate. Who would have knew that someone balanced your heart to bring peace into your life at the end of the day? Hold on 1 second, it was far from escape. It was never competition, even on your worst day. Hold on 1 second, because someone was trying to fumble you that day. You imagine expressing yourself to someone that actually sees you, hates you, respects you, but they wasn't trying to put you through pain. Someone balancing your peace at the end of the day, only was to hold on 1 second, your life would never change. Your life would never change. That's what you thought. You didn't think that your life would change. Only for you to realize the hold on 1 second, God allowed you to see differently today. Because when the right person walks into your life, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it wasn't I outdo you better than you. With someone sweet a blessing to you. Someone brings you peace to show you at the end of the day it's okay to be emotionally available. Someone's trying to have their cake and eat it too. Because that I love you hits different when it comes to a future with someone knowing this intentions. Hold on 1 second, wasn't trying to shortchange your mental health. Even when you get lost in your words, the devil or the enemy is trying to make you feel at the end that you're not worthy of healthy love. But who would have knew love at the end of the day? God was allowing you to see why this chapter started with you. You allow yourself to choose you. Maturity is different. Acting your body weight, they would never understand why you overcame what you've been through, but you still being patient with time, and they didn't have to get physical when it comes to healing trauma and pain, dealing with spiritual warfare since a child point of view. It went into your adulthood, but who would have knew? All those blockages became removals at the end of the day because you are the blessing at the end of the day because God was allowing you to see you. Because God allowed you to see, regardless to he say, she say, had to say about your reflection, God allowed you to see that, hold on 1 second, God didn't reject you. You start to get your life together for all the right reasons, start to pour into yourself. Know how to take accountability for your actions, acting your body weight, the shoe size. They would never understand how God allowed blessings to actually multiply. Even when the devil or the enemy was praying to get downfall to rob you mentally, spiritually, financially, at the end of the day, but God restored you. Even regardless of what culture, community, zip code, county, it'd be a chain of thought for me how certain folks was trying to plan your downfall, but God was far from pretending when God showed you love within. Allow you to see that two worlds can come together. Someone's your biggest cheerleader, uphold some person behind closed doors to understand your weather. How someone sees you, hears you, respects you. All that he say, she say in the back at the end of the day, that was truly irrelevant when the love of your life didn't have to pretend to actually meet you halfway. Y'all both pour into each other. Who would have knew that you gained a lover, a best friend, a business partner? Everybody's walk of life ain't the same when it comes to someone actually showing you at the end of the day. They ain't here to play games. You protecting the right arms today. Not ever trade on me. My content, everybody, that's, okay. No, the trade though for me, it's not. They dish you. But hold on 1 second. allowing you to choose you. That was the biggest flex at the end of the day. Regardless of how long it had to take you to get up, asking God for the proper nourishment to restore you for all the right reasons. Even you got choked up in your own words, they would never understand you wasn't giving up. God gave you the strength to love yourself, even under spiritual warfare when it comes to attacks, right to left. Hold on 1 second. They would never understand the hand of time that you was actually the gift. You know, not God's curse. You know, when the devil tried to make you feel like you wasn't worthy of choosing yourself, the enemy try to plot on you, get a reaction at the end of the day. But God also is showing why God wants you to step in and show you at the end of the day you are worthy. You are worthy. You know, my content is not for everybody, and I say that respectfully. I go live every night at 10:15 p.m. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. I go live every night at 10:15 p.m. I would never hurt myself, regardless who's praying in my downfall. And I say that respectfully. It's currently 10:40 p.m. and we're 25 minutes into this video. I'm far from a hater. No, ever traked over me? No, for real. You know, self-love is different. You know, faith, they would never understand your chapter when it comes to being comfortable in your own skin, your reflection. You know, actually looking in the mirror. You almost overlooked yourself. Only was the hold on 1 second was never farewell. They would never understand how you truly keeping it real. It's certain folks that's not going to understand your boundaries today, but hold on 1 second. Growth allows you to see why you truly healed. You still being patient with time and day, healing childhood trauma, going into your adulthood, being in the spiritual welfare every single day. They would never understand that prayer is different. You know, you believed in confidence when you couldn't relate to your own reflection, battling, finding peace within, but who would know you found your protection? Allowing yourself to feel safe in your own skin, even when folks is praying on your downfall. You know, hold on 1 second. That G-O-D, we may not pray the same, but I knew how to respect my neighbor, even when he was trying to find peace. It be the train of thought for me. How folks try to discourage you, try to ruin your reputation, right to left, all because you was far from the joke when it came to loving yourself. You know those cups that you was pouring into, half short change, and you only rush to hold on 1 second. I gotta choose me at the end of the day, not to overlook me. I'm gonna overflow my cup because God's blessing me. Allow me to see my intuition hits differently. I continue to call my energy back, regardless of what's that warlock, that witch, that Terry, that karmic, regardless of what next door neighbor in their tax bracket trying to make me feel I'm not worthy of myself. At the end of the day, I'm gonna continue to choose myself because God allowed me to feel. And it's just different. You know, self-love looks different. That relationship didn't work out. That job opportunity didn't work out. But it didn't allow you to lose you even when folks praying on your downfall. They would never understand. Hold on 1 second. They think they know about your whereabouts, but they don't know your heart at the end of the day because it's never switched up regardless to what you've been through. You know, you probably had lost a family member or two. Certain folks plotting on you right to left to try to humble you. The disrespect was loud. They said they got your back. Only was to hold on 1 second. You was trying to shortchange yourself another chapter because someone didn't know how to respect you. Imagine pouring into that relationship. All the abuse emotionally make you feel like, hold on 1 second, unstable. Someone saying they love you, they hear you, respect you, but they was quick to dish you when you was being your authentic self with no malicious intentions. They forgot to actually get to know you when it come to your vibe. All they want to do is get in your jaws. Only was to hold on 1 second. I ain't multiplying. No, have to trade over me. Have a good day, you weird son of a bitch. Have to trade over me. You know, like losing yourself because someone's called you something that you wasn't at the end of the day because you're trying to better yourself. Imagine trying to heal and someone saying they keeping it real. Only was the hold on 1 second. You was far from gone when you saw what you saw that day. Only was the hold on 1 second. Thank you, God, for protecting me. You know, my content is not for everyone. It's not. People been dealing with spiritual warfare since a child, going into their adulthood. It's some people that almost lost their life. It's certain people that plotted on certain individuals to lose their life. It's still people that still plotting on people because they understand, hold on 1 second, I'm choosing me today. I'm choosing me tomorrow. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and just because moments. Continue to cool your energy back, neighbor. Far from a hater, no negative is over here. Hit the trade off of me. Devil, return back to sender. Devil, not today. Devil, return back to sender. Devil, not today. Devil, return back to sender. Devil, not today. I've been talking about the devil since day one. If you are authentic, genuine at the end of the day, you understand at the end of the day, I wasn't being disrespectful when I understood I looked at the devil in their eyes that day. When malicious intentions didn't matter your tax bracket, then living fair at the end of the day, walking from point A to Z. I ain't had to be disrespectful, but folks be trying to control the narrative, all because, hold on 1 second, they want certain folks to look at you at the end of the day, somebody you truly not, all because they want you to be comfortable in your own skin. How this type of stuff actually happens. You don't have to know somebody at the end of the day for someone to try to change a narrative. You don't have to know somebody at the end of the day for someone to try to blackmail you against you. Never give up on yourself because someone is plotting on your downfall or someone has malicious intentions towards you. Regardless if you're a content creator or entrepreneur or not, never give up on yourself because someone doesn't want to see you prosper. Regardless if you have a speech problem, you're having a good or bad day, or you just, overwhelmed a little bit, whatever the case may be. Never give up on yourself because someone's projection, because someone has malicious intentions towards you. They don't want you to believe in faith. They don't want you to have hope within. They don't want you to balance your self-love when it comes to your self-worth. And I say that respectfully. My content is not for everyone. It's currently 10:45 p.m. and we're 29 minutes into this video. When it comes to my creativity, I work alone. I always have since day one. Never allow someone's insecurity, jealousy, or envy or mindset at the end of the day dim your light or discourage you. We live in a spiritual world, and because you're trying to prosper in life, regardless to if you're an entrepreneur or not, it's going to be individuals plotting on your downfall, praying that you become a crash out. Because people pick and choose what talk about narcotics, violence, healing, trauma, pain, the devil, God, the enemy. It's the train of thought for me. But never allow someone to make you feel like you have to be stagnant or have to live in fear. When it's fucking 20 degrees outside, I feel like 7 degrees. You weird son of a bitch. Ain't nobody trying to have no arthritis kicking in. Oh, no, I'm trying to balance this shit. It's a train on me. What the fuck wrong with you? Always be yourself, and I say that respectfully. My content is not for everyone. Stay warm, protect you and your family, stay out of trouble. You matter, you're worthy to the genuine ones with no malicious intentions. My content is not for everyone, and I say that respectfully. Regardless if it's a man or a woman, never allow someone to threaten your life or disrespect you because they decide to take your kindness so we can threaten your life and say that nobody's going to believe you because they're willing to have people go against you or willing to plot a scene or willing to blackmail you against you or even lie at the end of the day. It's a pain you have to be mentally unstable, crazy, slow, stupid, and retarded at the end of the day because they want to control the narrative because they already threatened your life. And you are worthy. Never allow someone to dim your light. My content is not for everyone, and I say that respectfully. I go live every night at 10:15 on YouTube. I'm on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. I go live every night at 10:15 p.m. Always be yourself, no extensions. I don't push God on nobody, and I say it respectfully. But when God sends the right people into your life, they see you, they hear you, they respect you. No confusion, spell work, or any enemy that you didn't even make at the end of the day, or even any devil worshiper can stop God's light from someone coming towards you. Regardless if they trying to rob you mentally, spiritually, financially, reroute your mail, your packages, or try to blackmail you against you, or send you the evil hour spell work, or trying to confuse you with their words. When you call on God at the end of the day, especially all the challenge and tribulations that you've been through, God will send the right people into your life. You know how it feels to be homeless. Not everybody does. You know how it feels to be in the divorce. You know how it feels to be in an unhealthy relationship. You know how it feels to be in an uncomfortable situation with folks that don't even like you at the end of the day. But you never switched up. You never stop having a heart regards to who's trying to control the narrative, try to blackmail you against you being a monitoring spirit because we live in a spiritual world. You're going to have individuals trying to monitor your every move at the end of the day when they're a monitoring spirit, regardless of someone's culture, religion, sexual orientation, disability, or age. We live in a spiritual world. You've been dealing with this type of stuff from a child point of view, and when you know, it's went into your adulthood. You mad and you're worthy. But when God sends the right people into your life, they act any body weight, not their shoe size. That energy hits different. Hold on one second. A blessing actually multiplies. Someone trying to shortchange your future. Someone actually know how to respect you when it comes to having FAITH. That energy is different. Having hope when it comes to your unconditional love. Understanding balance. Someone just wanted to make you come. Someone just wanted to make you feel comfortable in your own skin. Becoming your best self vision of your reflection. That's you, man, and you're worthy. And I say that respectfully. I would never hurt myself regardless who's threatening my life, and I say that respectfully. When God sends the right people into your life, they see you, they hear you, they respect you with no malicious intentions. I do not live in fear. No man, no woman, no child, or elderly person, and I say that respectfully. I do not live in fear, and I would never hurt myself regardless who's threatening my life. And I say that respectfully. It's currently February 1st, 2026, and it's currently 10:49 p.m. And we are currently 33 minutes into this video. And I would never hurt myself, and I say that respectfully. Regardless of what man or woman is threatening my life, and I say that respectfully. I would never stop choosing myself because someone wants me not to prosper in life at the end of the day, because they want to control the narrative of me choosing myself, regardless to who it is, man, woman, child, elderly person, or couple. And I say that respectfully. I would never hurt myself or my peers around me, regardless who's trying to antagonize me. And I say that respectfully. It's a train of thought for me. Always be yourself with no misintentions. You know, when God sends the right people into your life, it wasn't a fumble. It wasn't disrespect. It wasn't trying to make you humble. It didn't have malicious intentions when it comes to conversation, because someone actually understood at the end of the day, I came from poverty and pain regardless if I did or not at the end of the day. I know how to respect my neighbor. I pray for decent people to be in my life. I pray for people to pray for me, not against me in my life. I pray for people to show up for me regardless of my trials and tribulations, what I'm going through in life. Good day, bad day, and misunderstanding day. That energy is different. Regardless if someone has family or not, when the right people walk into your life, they see you, they hate you, they respect you. They don't look at you like competition, and they're not haters, and not send you the evil lie, and they don't send magic or spell work towards you at the end of the day. And I say that respectfully. When you're aware that someone's trying to send spell work towards you at the end of the day, it's no longer spell work. No, it's a trait over me. Hello. You know, when God reveals his devil on an enemy that doesn't want to see you prosper, it allows you to feel at the end of the day, you are worthy. And never allow someone to make you feel like you gotta live in fear. Because God gave you strength to show up for yourself, good day, bad day, or misunderstanding day. Even when folks is trying to blackmail you against you or even plot against you. Because God sees everything. You know, they say that God is not real, but that's a lie. Everybody's testimony, everybody's story is not the same. But I would never hurt myself regardless to who's trying to hold whatever back from me, or who has malicious intentions towards me, or who makes me feel at the end of the day I'm not supposed to choose me. And the truth, I'm going to choose me regardless. It's your projection and not my reflection. Hello. I'm Naya, Junior Love Respect, and I go live every night at 10:15 p.m. on YouTube. I would never hurt myself, and I say that respectfully. I'm far from a hater. Always be yourself regardless who's planning your downfall. To the genuine ones, you matter, you're worthy. Misunderstood and loved by you, who far from a hater. Stop the violence in the community. Misunderstood and judged by you, far from a hater. Stop the violence in the community. Always be yourself, and I say that respectfully. Loving yourself is not a crime. When it comes to my creativity, I work alone. I always have since day one. My Heavenly Mother, my Heavenly Father, God. I would never hurt myself regardless what's threatening my life. And I say that respectfully. I'm closing out this video at 10:52 p.m. I would never hurt myself. It's 36 minutes into this video. I would never hurt myself, regardless to what county, zip code, community, or content at the end of the day. I would never hurt myself. You know, individuals will pray on your downfall all because you believe in faith. Never get discouraged, and I say that respectfully. God love his different. You all don't pray the same, but I'm far from a hater. No, you have the trait of me. Peace and respect, sir, respect, your neighbor. Stop the violence. I gotta go. Stop the violence. When it comes to my creativity, I work alone. There's no third party, and I say that respectfully. Always be yourself with no intentions. It's no third party when it comes to my creativity, and it never has been. And I say that respectfully. I would never stop choosing myself because someone wants to pray on my downfall. I continue to call on my Heavenly Mother, Father God at the end of the day. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, just because moments. Call your energy back, neighbor, neighbor. Far from a hater, neighbor, neighbor, neighbor. You know, practice makes perfect. And I say that respectfully when it comes to your world, when it comes to your reflection. You know, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and just because moments, call your energy back. Call your energy back, no negative energy. No ever trait on me. Always be yourself. Gotta go. Stop the violence. I go live every night at 10:15 p.m. I'm Naya, Junior Love Respect, and I would never hurt myself when I say that respectfully. Gotta go. Stop the violence.